Hey Annie, was there an anime that we kind of started reviewing back when we started, like in 2020, and we were supposed to get back to it, but we just never did?
Nope, I think we're perfect.
Maybe related to the anime that we've kind of been reviewing for like 6 months a year. It's Seiko Yashahime.
Boy, you keep saying that, and I wanna say... No, I think we're still perfect. We're still good.
Denial. I'm Minty.
I'm Annie, and I still have the 7-foot sword that doesn't belong in Final Fantasy VII.
What?
That's my intro from the first episode. Back when I was going to do skits and bits of being like, what's up, my Shikon Jewel finders? It's your boy, the man with the 7-foot sword.
See, I knew you remembered. And this is FunUntitled. We said every podcast with an F you.
It was a trap. I was trapped by Minty. I can't believe this.
So we did Inuyasha back in 2020. It was one of our first 3 episodes. We stopped at the Band of 7 because that's our favorite villains, and we just forgot.
You know, to be fair, I swear to this day, I did not watch Final Act until this year.
Oh my
I will
god.
stand on that pillar.
None of it you remembered?
I remembered none of it.
That's insane.
I mean, you know, this is the comeback story. Now we have to make people, if they like this episode well enough, they'll go back and listen to the first shitty episode where we hardly talked about Inuyasha.
Well, we were doing that based off memory that was 10 to 20 years old.
So, you know, we're going to be mostly going over the second half of Inuyasha, the one after the Band of 7. But this is a little speed run of the first part. There's a girl named Kagome. She falls down a well. She's in the feudal era now, and it's a feudal era fairy tale.
Where she falls in love with a half-demon who was already in love with another priestess who died and is actually Kagome's reincarnate? Or, I guess the other way around.
Ancestor? No? What do you call the reincarnation in the before step?
I mean, just call it your past life.
Oh, past life. There we go. They team up with a fox boy named Shippo. He does nothing. A demon slayer named Songo, not Kimetsu no Yaiba, and a perverted monk named Moroku.
And they all have a common enemy, Niraku, who put them all through hell and back, and they're gonna defeat him while also collecting the shards of the Shikon Jewel, which has the power to grant one wish.
And hey y'all, in the first few episodes, Inuyasha and Ko has most of the Shikon Jewel, but I swear to gosh, Niraku has most of it throughout the whole season.
Yeah, it is interesting, yeah.
How buck wild is that? Having a protagonist begging for scraps, please may I have one shard, Niraku? Leave my shard in my butter, please.
Koga, give me your shards.
Wait, there's a love triangle because it's a 1990s anime. 80s?
70s?
50s? WandaVision?
Great Depression time?
Jeez, you mean, are you talking about this decade? But yeah, so...
That was funny, actually.
Thank you.
You played it kind of dumb, but that was actually pretty funny.
Koga's in love with Kagome, Kagome's in love with Inuyasha, and y'all, Kagome admits she's in a semi-abusive relationship of I love this man, but I know he'll never love me back, but it's okay.
I don't know if abusive is the right word. Maybe just unhealthy.
There we go, that's the word.
So, let's start off with after the Band of Brothers. Niraku has the idea to start splitting off parts of his body. I mean, he's kind of been experimenting doing that before, creating Onigumo and trying to get rid of his heart, but now he's trying to do it in a different way through the baby Hakudoshi, who is his heart, and that baby split off into 2 different babies so that one could stay as a baby and the other could become a child, and that child took Entei.
The legendary Pokemon.
Shut up.
From Pokemon 2000. Wait, shit. I forget what the Entei movie. That wasn't 2000. Lugia was 2000.
Yeah. Well, it must have been right after that, because that was 3, and then Pokemon Forever is the 4th one.
I had a friend. She's Spanish, and she's like, yes, the Entei movie has defined my entire childhood. And I was like, bitch, you don't know any Pokemon. How did that define your childhood? You know what Pokemon she did know? Unknown. I
gotta give it to you. That one's not as good, but it was pretty good.
But yeah, with the thing with this baby, and you know the Inuyasha and Ko's not gonna stab a baby, so you kinda gotta be like, alright baby, you do your thing.
Until they find out Naraku's heart, then they're all about stabbing babies.
But in the end, they didn't even stab the baby.
They were weak as shit, that's why. This is one where Niraku really lays around with everyone. He's kinda doing his own thing, he has his own little struggles, but even when so many people chasing after him, he's everything under control. It's pretty interesting.
God, he can get away with anything with a voice like his.
Is he Stephen in Bloom?
He's Steve Bloom. He
Yeah,
is
no wonder.
Spike from Cowboy Bebop.
God.
So they deal with a bird lady for a very long time. A little bit too long, if you ask me.
That was really long. Princess Avi is just like not an interesting character. But the whole point of her was basically now that Niraku has most of the jewel shards, either within his possession or the possession of like
The cops? No, of lackeys such as Kohaku and Koga. Hey, anyone with Ko in your name, if you are a child, you can have a Shikan jewel.
that was a stretch.
I mean, you know, Japanese words Ko.
Yeah, well, Ko's usually at the end of the name if you're gonna use it as a child and as a name.
Look, I failed Japanese, okay? Annie Trope 101. Annie will mention they failed Japanese.
Badly. It was sad. I don't know how you passed high school. I don't know how you passed college. You had to have a passing grade.
Moving on, the last Shikan jewel is now resting with Inuyasha's daddy in Purgatory. That's like Purgatory, right?
Yeah, you know, I mean, they touch more about it in Yashahime, but basically it's like purgatory, and it says graveyard, right? But they didn't really delve into that one too much, which I guess is not really the point anyways.
You know, it's weird that Shishomu went to hell or Heko and he didn't see his daddy. I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
That's what I'm saying. It's like purgatory, but not purgatory because his soul's not there. It just says graveyard, but it's like, why is there a whole bunch of like dead skeletons? And I mean, Hoseki, the creator of the Black Pearl inside Inuyasha's eye,
The one that lets him go to the grave.
dies with the last Shikon jewel, and his dead ass soul and skeleton got to go over there. So I'm like, wait, but it's not purgatory, but you're there and you're dead?
Maybe, okay, this is a game theory. You know how all demons go to hell?
Right. Well, depending on
Maybe
the anime.
Purgatory is heaven for demons. Like, you ain't getting up to the pearly gates. This is the highest you'll go.
But his soul's not there either.
Yeah, but Hosenki Senior is.
You think Hoseki is in purgatory and then Inuyasha's dad's body got to be in purgatory because he made a half demon baby, but his soul's like, no, you're still demon, bro. Going down to hell.
Yee, that's my game theory.
Have a half demon baby. Your body will be Inuyasha's dad.
Anyways, Inuyasha goes sees his daddy, and that's when you find out that Niraku cannot be defeated unless you kill his heart. So we do a lot of battles when Niraku should have died.
Horcrux.
Horcrux, Voldemort. Did J.K. Rowling steal from Inuyasha? What came first?
Honestly, either one could have came first. I don't know.
I think it's Inuyasha who came first because I remember being in middle school when Deathly Hallows came out and you couldn't say any spoilers.
Well, I don't know, because back then, when the anime came out from Japan, and especially the manga, it was very far apart. Like, now we have, like, simulcast, but it's like, before it was, like, at least 2 to 3 years when anime out in Japan would come to America.
Oh, true, brute.
So it's hard to say. But Hoseki was protecting the last jewel, but when he found out that Inuyasha was pure of heart or some shit, he taught Inuyasha how to do the adamant barrage, which is one of Inuyasha's best moves.
You ain't gonna see it in Yashahime, y'all.
One day we'll see it. Yeah, and then they were able to get back home because, you know, they can't stay in hell forever.
Then they deal with Kohaku because we never get tired of dealing with Kohaku.
There's a small period where it's like a lot of Kohaku, and I'm like, I don't know, just because I know Kohaku wasn't going to do anything, but even if I didn't know, you kind of knew. You kind of knew there was no way Kohaku could do anything because he's not even a good demon slayer. So how could he do anything?
Yeah, we deal with more of Niraku's reincarnation. I don't really want to go over every single Tom, Dick, and Harry.
I mean, Hakudoshi and the baby are going through things and doing a bunch of other, like,
They're doing errands. Are you done with those errands, Hakudoshi?
in a sense, like body modification errands. They had Morio Maru, Goryo Maru. It was basically just to make the baby stronger. I don't know what the heck happened to Hakudoshi, and they never named that baby.
I am forever pissed. Pissed beyond belief. That baby went after 2 demons from Yashahime, and then those demons came back in Yashahime all fine and dandy.
Yeah, I don't know. Yashahime actually referenced a lot of the final act, so we really should have watched this before watching Yashahime. I think this is where we get to the final act part, where Kaguya betrays Niraku and Hakudoshi, but they're like, oh, bitch, we knew all along. And they basically killed her.
And she does that ooh woo scene with Shishomu being like, hey, you smelled Niraku, but you've only found me? You disappointed? And Shishomu's like, nah, man, I want to watch you die. And Kaguya's like, that's kind of romantic. And she whooshed into the air like a fart.
It's more romantic than the way Annie's making it sound.
Oh.
It's very...
Oh, I'm sorry, Shishomu Kaguya shipper.
I'm just saying, it was nicer than that.
I'm not here doing a 1v1 interpretation. You gotta pay me money on my Patreon for that.
You know, on Patreon. What is this Patreon like? I want it.
It's an OnlyFans account, I lied.
Oh. Then I know there's no money in the account.
Oh.
So, but just like Kaguya, Hakudoshi and the baby also wanted to betray Niraku. And I think at this point, Inuyasha kills Entei. Niraku's like, oh, Hakudoshi, thought you could betray me, but hello, we're one and the same. So he lets Moroku kill him. And he's like, yeah, I just need the baby because the baby's the one with my heart, so I'm gonna go deal with that later. And then there's a scene where Koga gets the Garaishi, which is that like thunder weapon from his ancestors. And
That's
like,
the most useless scene because he uses it once and then gets written out of the entire series, and the next time you see him, he's marrying a filler character.
the creator of Inuyasha likes to get these side characters to marry filler characters. What can we say? It happened in well, kind of happened in Ranma.
At least that bitch actually appeared in the manga. Because the creator of Inuyasha always just feels bad for the third wheel when they like get shafted.
Give them a fourth wheel.
I cannot tell you how much I hated it in Fruit Basket when the cat and the main girl got together and I had to read the weirdest love story between Rat and some girl with PTSD.
I don't know Fruit Basket. So after Kagura dies and Shishomu's Tokujin breaks,
Is what?
this is the sword made by a total-sized student, and it was made from Niraku's demon that was made from his body's teeth because it was able to break the Tessaiga.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay. God, I was like, I don't know how much more I can tell you. It looked like a purple cow.
I didn't want to cut you off.
So that breaks. So Shishomu's like, well, I gotta do something about this. And some random ass dude is just like, yo, Shishomu, I hated your dad. He stole my technique. And if you kill me, then you get the Meido Zangetsuha.
Well, you kind of skipped one part, you shipper. You skipped the part where because he mourned over Kagura's death, Totosai said, okay, I'll give you the Meido Zangetsuha, but weird guy who's missing half his head was the one that helped him unlock the full potential.
Maybe it was Totosai who was shipping Shishomu and Kagura all along.
Yeah, I will say, the guy who originally had the Meido Zangetsuha, hot. Like, I want to see more of him.
I want to see that brain exposed.
Show me some of that cranium, big boy. Show, come on, show daddy. Show daddy behind the mask.
I want the right eye in your head and the left eye in your hand.
Okay.
Just missing his like head. I think one eye too.
Okay. Yeah. Got weird.
I'm always making it weird. You never like it where I take it.
So yeah, this is when Shishomu finds out that if he perfects the Meido Zangetsuha, then like the true purpose was for Inuyasha to suck that up with his sword.
I mean, yeah. That's when we're all vibing with Totosai being like, holy shit, Toga, you suck. You're really like putting Shishomu in a really tight spot. I mean, is that good parenting or is it bad parenting?
I don't know, because it got weird because then Totosai tried to backpedal and be like, you really think your father would have just done that? And Shishomu was like, yes, dumb piece of shit.
Which he kind of did. I mean, he was basically forcing two brothers that didn't like each other to get along. And it's like, you're doing this from the grave. Some things you just gotta let go.
His sword now has, let's do the track record. He got the adamant barrage, he got the dragon skills off screen. Well, he did it on screen, but we're not talking about that because that was boring and weird. But now he can absorb any energy.
Is that what the dragon skill does?
Yeah.
God, I forgot about that.
And then like something about looking for demon vortexes.
Oh, yeah. It just plays a weird role to have like almost like a third party has to be involved. And then we meet Naraku's last bitch, or I guess child. You know, kind of gives me like Big Mom and her children vibes.
Haha.
Big Mom had a lot of kids and she was just kind of using them.
One Piece.
One Piece. Well, you meet Byakuya of the Dreams, and I guess he's the most obedient one, but I think if you played a series long enough, he'd probably betray Niraku in the end.
I cannot tell you how many people thought that Byakuya was the real mother of Setsuna. And those are the most irritating fans.
Byakuya?
Yeah.
The half demon.
Yeah.
Incarnate of Niraku.
Yeah.
Who's a man.
Yeah. You don't question Niraku. If he wants to make a man that can get pregnant, that's fine. We don't look at him when he made a female version of himself, essentially.
And then a child version of himself.
And then a baby version. And he really wished he had white hair at one point.
And a purple cow of himself. He
And
was
a
going
weird
to a
parasite.
fairy phase. Yeah. I like the parasite. That was cool. Yeah, he did have a white hair fixation.
I'm gonna say this now. Was Byakuya necessary?
I mean, he needed a gopher. That's all I can really say. Niraku kills Moriyomaru and the baby, and that gives him the power to have a really strong defense because Moriyomaru took the scales of that turtle demon.
Turtle.
And Niraku was able to kill Kikio.
For the 5th time.
Yeah, kind of. Wasn't the permanent one. Trying to figure out what was the permanent one.
It was, yeah, all I remember was that Kikio was just kind of dying in Inuyasha's arms and Inuyasha being like, so I can move on. gone, right?
I mean, essentially.
Who cares? Kikio dies at one point.
Kikio dies. Then there's a point where Rin dies, and so Shishomaru had to go to his mom and save her because for some reason Shishomaru's mom is the gatekeeper for the afterworld, which is like there's gotta be connection between Toga, the Tenseiga, the mom, and all that afterlife thing.
Yeah. Did Shishomaru ever get a new sword? He did, right?
Yes, I keep telling you he does.
Alright. Well, he saves Win, and Kohaku's there. And then we deal with Kanna. It's been a while since Kanna did anything other than hold a baby.
It was weird, right? Because Kana never had a role really, just to except like hold the baby.
She was like a villain of the week villain, you know, who never got anything past that 1 week.
Kana dies.
That's not how we say her name in this household.
Kana. I probably anime pronounce this. It's a little weird. She dies, and I can't remember because her mirror's shards fell to the ground, and then somebody was able to take it and use it for their advantage. It definitely wasn't Inuyasha because he's too stupid. I can't remember if that was Niraku or Shishomaru.
I don't remember that. All I remember is Kana died, and her shard went into Kogome's eye and was like, "There's a light inside the Shikan jewel. Use that to destroy it." And it's like, "Yeah, Kana, we know that. Kikyo said that like 1,000 times."
So Kana's dead. Niraku's losing one child after the next. We do this little Sangha Moroku moment where Sangha loses the Hiraikos and Moroku's gonna lose himself to the wind tunnel.
His heart. He's gonna lose his little heart because the wind tunnel is traveling uphill.
Uphill death.
But you know, the side characters, it's like whatever.
Very short. It's not like the black Hiraikos in Yashahime. Could you imagine if she had the black Hiraikos in Yashahime?
Oh yeah, who's gonna get her the materials and who's gonna pray over it? Huh? Think, idiot.
You think Moroku. Whatever. And then at some point Inuyasha completes the Maidos on Getsuha, so it's a full circle. Why did I not write in my notes how that happened?
I thought Shishomaru made a full circle, and then Inuyasha later on inside Niraku's had to learn that, oh, everyone does the Maidos on Getsuha differently. I gotta do it in like slices, like the slap chop.
Oh, right, when he could shoot it out.
Yeah.
This might be the part where Shishomaru agrees to have the Tenseiga take the Maidos on Getsuha because it would make the sword complete and make the swords happy. And because he did that, and this allowed Inuyasha to save Kagome because Magasuhi sealed her powers away. Because Shishomaru learned to like have this compassion, he was able to get his real sword gift from the dad, which is the Bakusaiga.
Where was the real sword the whole time? Inside the cow?
I think it was inside Shishomaru.
Oh.
Or maybe even inside the Tenseiga. I don't remember. All I remember was like Shomu got his new sword, he got his arm back through the new sword.
Nice.
And he was gonna abandon the Tenseiga, so they gave it to Rin. And the sword's like twice as tall as her. That was funny.
And then Rin became the Tenseiga master, and she was like the real protag the whole time.
And before she went trapped into a tree, she's like, "You give my sword to our daughter. I don't care which one."
And that was the end of it. Not, we jest that none of that happened. We all know why Rin's there. She's not to learn how to use the Tenseiga.
So that she could be the new rider of Aoun.
Shut up about Aoun.
She's like the only one who rides Aoun. No one who cares about Aoun.
And we move on to Magatsushi kidnapping Kohaku.
And like in all bad kidnapping cases, Niraku kills Kohaku and completes the Shikan jewel. And then he kidnaps Rin, which is a dick move to do.
Just to keep Shishomaru in the plot. He's very considerate to the writers.
But how does Kohaku survive? Kikyo, with her last breath, she shot an arrow, but kind of purposely missed Niraku to hit the Shikan jewel. And these series of events somehow led to like she saved Kohaku's life.
Yeah, like she could have killed Niraku, but she actually just like super purified the Shikan jewel, so even when she was gone, it would always be super purified. And like when Niraku completed the shard, the super purification ray beam jumped from the shard into Kohaku.
It was Kana's. Oh, right. The light. Oh my god. That means Kikyo sacrificed a lot to save Kohaku.
Duh. You know why? Because Kohaku is the MVP.
Yeah.
I mean that in joking, Jess. Don't take that seriously.
You never know.
So, yeah, Niraku has the, full circle.
Shikan jewels. He's gone 360.
And then, one kind of enters Niraku because he turned into basically the Death Star.
Oh, and you said I missed the most important part.
Oh, I'm sorry. You go on. You say the most important part.
So now that Kohaku's alive, Kagome can finally, somehow, graduate middle school. That's impossible. In modern time, in 2020, there's no way Kagome could have graduated middle school. She would have to get a GED.
To be fair, I did zone out a lot in middle school, so I think she could do it.
Did you really?
Of course! Do you think I got the title of the world's shittiest student hated by teachers if I paid 100% attention? Do you think I would have notebooks filled with drawings if I paid attention?
Do you think I wouldn't have failed Japanese if I had just paid attention when I was taking the beginning Japanese in 8th grade?
That was dirty. Real dirty. You go on with the most important scene of Yashahime.
Yashahime. So, now that Kagome's graduated from middle school, which if you don't know, that means she graduated the freshman year of high school in terms of American standards. Now they all decide that they have to enter Niraku to try to defeat them. But of course, in any fashion, they all get separated. And also, Shoshomu's there. Because again, they kidnap Rin. Just to make this real quick. Now, there's nothing wrong with Final Act, and we are kind of just going through this really fast. It's just a very fast-paced anime. Like, Inuyasha took you very slow, and it was just like, you get to kind of enjoy the moment, but Final Act and the Hakudoshi arc, it's just like boom, boom, boom. There's a lot to know. There's a lot of moving parts. It's like, who's alive, who's dead?
And I don't know how. I do know they changed a lot from the manga to make it quicker in the anime. So like a lot of things that the Inuyasha crew should have been there for, they kind of just wrote them out and just had like Hakudoshi do his thing. Like I know Inuyasha was supposed to fight Kinro and Ginro, whatever their names are. Kinyu and Ginyu? Ginyu Force. The Snake Brothers in the manga, and that's when Inuyasha gets like a flaming Tetsaiga.
Can't believe they didn't allow us to see the flaming Tetsaiga. If I ever see a box set of Inuyasha, I would buy that.
But if you buy it in traditional media, it's gonna be flipped.
Damn you, English people not honoring the Japanese way. So, Inuyasha almost kills Kagome, Shoshomu kills Magasuhi, Moroku almost kills himself.
Magasuhi, that's how you pronounce it.
How'd you pronounce it?
I was pronouncing it like Magasushi.
God damn it. Sango almost kills Rin, so that resulted in Shoshomu almost killing Sango.
And then Sango gave her COVID mask to Rin, and Shoshomu decided, nah, you get to live.
That's cute. I think it's cute. These are like my 3 favorite characters interacting with each other.
Rin?
Yeah.
That's sad.
Shut up.
That's really sad.
Your favorite character is Moroku.
Past me favorite character is Moroku, okay? Now it is hands down Inuyasha. I would say the story again if I must. Back then, whenever we watch shows with our cousins, each person gets a favorite character you cannot overlap. You are now kidding as that character. And our cousin, I don't want to name drop, so like Waikuza, I think that was her weeb name?
I don't know.
She picked Inuyasha, you picked Sango, Nikki Doll picked Kagome, so I was stuck with Moroku.
Interesting. Moroku's not a bad character though.
No, he's not a bad
Honestly.
character. I'm just saying, he wouldn't be my all-time favorite. I would die for Inuyasha. I will...
Yeah, let's not go there. Okay, and for some reason, they gave Kagome these amazing power to like have her arrows travel anywhere. But more specifically, it has to travel in a way where it goes behind something, because there's a Japanese children's game called Kagome where you have to close your eyes and guess who's behind you after all these children kind of merry-go-round around you. And it's like, it's cute, but I don't understand how you have this power. It's like, or is it really just like you sense something and then you can send your arrow there?
One? That sounds hella cool. I don't remember that at all.
What?
It's
like how she kills Niraku, because they couldn't get to Niraku, but she could sense him, right? Because he had the Shikon jewel. So she shot her arrow, and the arrow transversed space and time to shoot Niraku.
I think that sounds effing cool.
No, I mean, it is cool. It's just, I'm not exactly sure what the explanation is, because they explained it in a way where it's like, she can sense, like, the veil behind something.
I love that when she was born, her mama saw that on her forehead as if God said, this very specific Japanese game is how you're going to defeat your enemy.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little came out of nowhere, because why didn't she name her a name that had something to do more with the Shikon, and not with like this weird symbol that came out of nowhere? So just to wrap this up, in Niraku's final desperation to have some sorts of victory, this is why he becomes a giant mass of demons and was gonna like destroy Kaede's village, but he also like took Kagome and sealed her away in like limbo, but not purgatory.
Inside the Shikon jewel.
Inside the Shikon jewel, because we couldn't have enough of that with Magasuhi. Inuyasha creates his own Meido Zangetsu, or multiple of them, to try to reach Kagome, which he does, and takes her to the Shikon jewel and wishes the Shikon jewel to disappear forever. Which honestly, honestly, I don't know why. I just think it's one of the best endings to have this. Because for the longest time, I didn't know how Inuyasha ended. And I didn't know what they were going to do. I honestly thought they were going to have Inuyasha become a full-fledged demon, that they could continue having half-demon children. Because I thought Gorda Demon would sound stupid. But she wished for it to go away and disappear. And like, that's really fucking smart. But it's also weird because the Shikan Jewel does have a will of its own. So why were they allowed to have a wish where it would kill itself?
Probably because like some bullshit Kagome and the priestess. Oh, I think she was just a lady actually inside working together.
That's a good point. I sometimes forget it's about Midoriko and the 100 demons that she's fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was a priestess or like a warrior.
She was a fine lady, and it's a shame we lost her to the Shikanju. Damn shame. So anyways, Inuyasha takes Kagome to the real world. He disappears along with the well. Kagome's like, well, I'm never gonna see him again. And then the creator Inuyasha asked the voice actress of Kagome in Japan, hey, what do you think Kagome should do at the end? Stay in the modern world or go to the feudal era? And the voice actress said, I think she should be wherever Inuyasha is. So the creator bapped Kagome back to Inuyasha through the power of magical bullshit. But now Kagome is legal because she graduated high school. It's kind of like the Amish young Kapoor. But we gotta make sure that you don't want to come back, go have fun.
It's like Rin living in a human village so she can learn the human ways.
Young Kapoor.
Young Kapoor, you're now a man, which is actually a bar mitzvah. I don't know what young Kapoor is.
So like we get a nice moment in Yasha, like, oh my god, Kagome's back. The bowling of the whales came back for some reason.
That was cute, yeah.
And like, he visits there like every day.
So that's the end of Inuyasha. We're all watching Yashahime knowing how that goes.
And if you want to go watch her react to the Yashahime, go watch all those episodes.
Inuyasha will always be a childhood favorite, and honestly I could rewatch this series anytime because I just love the cast.
And still a good intro to anime.
Depends on how you see anime now.
I guess. So with that, we'll say goodbye, and God, join us for next sequel when our kids take over.